Welcome to the Panda show today. I am flying solo because Kiwi abandoned me and she refuses to come back. As you might have seen in the notification, we're going to be building something today. Something that we haven't done ever before on our channel. It's been strictly just games. And the random, what was it, Stardew Valley murder mystery that we did one time. So yeah, today's a little bit different, but definitely something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit. Maybe not this specifically, but definitely like building stuff on stream. Hopefully this is the first of many streams to come. We apologize for like it taking this long. We had said that we were going to do this I think like a week ago or two, but life happened, stuff happened, but we're here now because I have a deadline. I need this done before this weekend. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully it doesn't take too long because I work tomorrow. But we'll see. I also haven't done this in a while, but I have done it before in a couple of cases. And you might be asking yourself, what the fuck is she talking about? What we're going to be customizing a PS5 controller. This is going to be a gift for my brother-in-law. He and my sister love One Piece, so we're going to be doing a Zoro controller. And we got the pieces from, where else? China, AliExpress. So we got a few different components here. And I'll probably get those out here in a second. This is my neck of the office space. So it's kind of different than what you guys are used to seeing when Kiwi's streaming and when she's on camera. Anyways, so we're gonna go with just a plain white controller since I am gonna be basically swapping all the parts out. And I'm gonna keep this so I can, I don't think I'll repackage it here because I did get like a case for it, but just in case I change my mind, I will leave all this here. Pretty standard PlayStation 5 controller, the white one that kind of comes with your PS5 if you get a white one. These are the parts. They're translucent green to kind of go with the theme. This is the backing. I haven't fully decided whether or not I'm going to go with this one. I may keep the white one, but this is like the easiest part to swap out anyway. So, in case I do change my mind, it won't be that hard to put it back. This is kind of the piece de la resistance. Because you might be asking yourself, where's the Zoro tie-in? Well, I'm getting to it. They wrapped this like I wanted to put it to bed. Super snug. Nice and cozy. Alright. Random ass parts. This is the trackpad piece, which I thought was pretty neat. Here. Do some... There we go. This one's a little bit nicer. It's pretty cool. And then this is the faceplate. So here's a view there. And then for the better camera, it's pretty sick. I'm not a One Piece fan myself. I mean, we've watched the live action Kiwi and I, and we enjoyed that. But I don't think I could commit to watching over 1,000 episodes of the anime. Although Kiwi has tried. The answer is still no. Like I said, I haven't fully decided whether I'm going with this or not. But just in case, I will leave it out so that I have access to it. I think I will, just because I think it ties in nicely with the green that the controller already has, or as far as like the faceplate. There's some green here. Green here, so kind of keep the theme going. I do have the D-pad and then the triangle, circle, square buttons. So, and I also have this one that has a different trackpad, but obviously I will be using the one that came with the front-facing shell. But I did want the thumbsticks for this, and then the little green rings that go under the thumbsticks, and the triggers. So that's why we kind of mixed that, and then we also have this part right here. That was also translucent. So yeah, those are the pieces to get all this done. I've got like 3 different toolkits because honestly it's been so long I don't remember which one worked well last time. So this is what we're working with for disassembly. Hopefully I remember how to disassemble. I may have to refer to YouTube because it has been a while. But I think I used this one last time and that went pretty well. So the first thing to get into the controller is to remove this piece here. That'll give you access to the underlying pieces, and then some of the screws that are hidden here, and then we'll remove these triggers, the back triggers, to get to the other screws. So this one's supposed to be like Spider-Man themed. I actually really like it, how it turned out. It does click in a way it shall not click, but that's okay. It adds a little bit of, hear that? Adds a little bit of character, I think. But this one, Kiwi did all on her own. This was a gift. I think it's for my birthday.
I think so.
Something like that. But yeah, it's one of my favorites because Kiwi did do this herself. But yeah, it's really nice. Goes with my chair. See, matchy matchy. Show you the ones that I did. And I went through this phase where I wanted to do like a cotton candy type of PlayStation 5. And so I swapped out the plates. I got the like hot pink and the like baby blue. And so I did like one of each, and then I got 2 controllers of the same color, and I just kind of interchanged all the pieces. There you go. And I had to buy some different parts because, yeah, to kind of make it work. And I do have like the opposite colors of this somewhere, but I think it's like the battery's dead or something. I haven't really bothered to check. But yeah, this is like supposed to be like somewhat cotton candy-esque. Yeah, so the very first one I did actually was this one that I did for Kiwi, because her favorite color is, well, at the time her favorite color was yellow. That has since changed a bit, but she still likes yellow. But this is one of the very first ones that I did.
It's a little dirty.
It's a lot more than a little dirty, but we're gonna ignore that. That means that it's well loved and used.
A few moments later.
So this is the new shell, and I'll actually probably start setting some of this up. So we will be using most of these pieces. Triggers, right back trigger and the front triggers will stay. Those we will be using. The share button and the start button will stay. I haven't actually decided yet for the PS button. I think I will be using this PS button instead of the translucent one, just because it actually looks like a PS button. So yeah, which is just translucent. You can't really see the PS logo at all. It's just kind of like the generic shape. And then this is like your little microphone light. So basically this thing. So we will be using that, since we're kind of like swapping pieces and then inserting others. These go on the top. We see the teeth kind of like markings up here. So that's where you kind of align these. I'm not very beauty guru-esque, but yeah. Anyways, there's matching teeth on this that you would put, and then you kind of just start lining them up. And these are pretty easy to insert. Just kind of match the the little teeth to the little spaces, and then they should start going in like that. And do the same with the other one. And you'll hear some clicking as the pieces kind of start falling together. That means that they are in the right place. And that's what that will look like once they're both in there. These will probably be some of the last pieces that we input, since they just kind of sit there, already losing shit. Like this one will just sit there. I kind of get you an idea of what that's going to look like. Actually, I think I do like this better. I think it matches a little bit nicer with this. But they all sit in the like specific direction, so there's, that way you won't mistakenly put them in a place they're not supposed to go. So this is the D-pad for this. So what you'll see here is there's a little like notch right here where this little piece right here will sit right there. So you just throw that in here, and you'll see that from the other controller once you start taking that apart more. Here are the other components. So you'll see that they have their own little notches. They all have their little notches, and you just basically match them up. This one has a bit of a cheat code since it does have the X for you to see. It's X. So you kind of have an idea where it will generally go, and you just kind of match up the shapes of the notches. So you'll see that they just kind of sit in there. I think some of the most challenging parts is, especially if you're trying to use a different trackpad, that's where we have to use like a heat gun to separate, because it does have adhesive, keeping this plastic piece from like the chip that's underneath. And just a little heat will help it come loose, and then we just reattach it to the new one. And then once you start getting this piece loose, you just want to be mindful, because there are some pieces in here that you don't want to accidentally rip. There's this here is like part of the speaker, I believe. Don't quote me, because again, I haven't done this in a minute, but it just kind of sits here. So you just kind of pry it. You have one or two choices. You can actually leave it there and just undo the ribbon here, which I think I might end up doing that instead. So now that the battery is out, you are safe to use forceps. You'll want those for like the ribbon cables to kind of guide them and to take them out as well. So just kind of gently want to pry these loose. Then you want to like rip a cable. The idea is to have a functioning controller once you're done. Also try to get under it. Oh, there you go. And the whole piece came loose like I said it might. And then now this comes right off. And this one has a screw, so we also don't want to lose that. Now we'll see more screws. This is kind of gives you a little bit better view of the other ribbon cables that are in and around, and those will all come out as well. Alright, so this is what this looks like. Most of this will stay as is, because I'm just going to transfer it over to the other controller. I will, however, change out the thumbsticks, because we will be going with a different thumbsticks. The other thing that we will be changing is the triggers. So we'll go ahead and do the thumbsticks first, and then you'll see this is what I was talking about earlier as far as like the trackpad and the cable that goes to it. That's the chip. And then this is like your front speaker. So you're going to want to transfer that over to this piece. And then here are the contact pieces as well. These will be going into the other controller, as well as some silicone that sits right below it. So most of these pieces will be going, if not all of them, to the other shell. But one of the things I do need to do right now is swap out these. So just be careful, because remember it does have some cables that are kind of just dangling there. And we're going to get these ready to go. These come right off. You just have to kind of pull on them. You don't have to do anything too special. They come right off. And then they do have like a general shape to them. You're just going to want to match that up with this stick. And then just get this one off so that they're both ready to go. Again, they come right off. You just pull them up. And then you're going to want to just match the shapes. And then you gently push down. You don't want to break anything, so just gently push it. Same thing with the other one. Match the shape and then gently push down. And you're going to want to support the bottom piece so that you don't accidentally rip any cables out. Okay, and then we're going to move it so that they sit below where they're supposed to go. So for this, you're just going to take this silicone right off and just put it on the new one. And that will help it stay in place. And you need these are what make contact with the controller and makes it do what it's supposed to do. The next pieces we're going to be moving over are going to be your PS button, which also has its own silicone piece, and since we already have that in, we're just going to pop this on top of it. So the adhesive stayed mostly intact, so that's good. What I like to do is add a few extra pieces of adhesive just to like make sure that everything sticks the way it's supposed to. So now this is what will be left once you take off that chip. I do have a little bit of adhesive, like double-sided adhesive that I've used before that I'll put a few strips of here, but luckily most of the adhesive stayed on, so I won't need to put as much. And once again, this is a piece. It's Zoro from One Piece. So for this one, you're going to want to align it properly. The cable should be facing upwards, as that's what's going to poke out and come back through to connect to the motherboard. And there is like a little bit of alignment points here to kind of help locate it right there. These little dots on each side. That helps you kind of align where it should be going. And you just kind of want to lay it so it sits between those two spots. And now we can start putting the other pieces together. So this shell did come with its own piece here. I'm just wondering why. Like, I'm willing to give it a shot and see, but actually I'm more favoring using the original piece over the part that they gave us, just to see if we can. But we may have to just use the part that they gave us. Actually, it's the other way. Cool. I'm glad that they do include that. I wonder why. Because if you notice here, this piece has like this little tube, and then it's got a square piece, and this one has two like little cylinders. So that's actually really interesting. I don't know how that's gonna work since it only has the one screw anyway. I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and put the one screw that we have. You would think that they would then include a screw if they're gonna give you a screw hole. Not sitting nicely now. I have to readjust this button ribbon cable over here, but that should be good now too. And now this is what we're working with. What do you think, Huey?
I like it.
So yeah. Okay. Now I just have to transfer over the triggers, and we can get this all together again. Alright, so now this is what it looks like with the other buttons that we're missing. And we just want it to flow nicely. Like visually anyways. Alright. And I think that looks better. God damn it. Let's see if I remember how the fuck to get these off. Like, all I remember is that I hate these. That's it. That's all I remember. Okay, so I got that loose there. No shit, it's easier than it was before.
Oh.
And I took a piece out that I don't need to take out anymore, because in the past we did have to take that out. So that's fun. Alright. So, pop that off. Pop that off. There we go. Off to the side, this has shit connected to it, like soldered shit, so we gotta be careful with that.
Does Panda have the soldering machine?
I do, but I haven't actually ventured to try it yet. It's a little bit out of my realm. So, maybe one day. Methinks. Let me see how he fucking took that out. Up and to the right. Alright, relax, relax. Alright, what am I lifting? This? Okay, yeah. Up and then to the right. He said. To me. There we go. Something happened. And then? Oh, I see. Yeah, that was more complicated in the past. And I took something out on the other side I shouldn't have taken out. In hindsight, I didn't know. But now I know. And now I will struggle to get it back in. But that's alright. I am just hoping that these pieces match the new pieces, because if not, we're going to have some black triggers. They look a little different, I'm not going to lie to you, chat. But I'm hoping that it's similar enough that we can still use them. Okay, we're going to hope for the best here. We can Mickey Mouse it. That is not really in my repertoire. Okay, I think that actually worked. That's looking good. That's looking good, chat. We like that. Now I just gotta get this fucking pin that I took out for no fucking reason. It's okay. I'm gonna get this other one off and hopefully it'll be easier to get it back on. Cool. That pops right off. And again, we pull it off into this. This is so much nicer. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now that I've seen how it works, this is so much nicer. Before, all these fucking pieces came apart. I'll kind of show you. And you had to realign them yourself properly. And if you didn't, then you'd have to open back up and then realign it correctly. And then you, I don't know if you can see it better. Like, it's like a little spiral. So those pieces have to be aligned properly. Otherwise, the triggers won't work. And sometimes they feel like they're right, but once you like close it up and start using it, then they don't work properly. And then you have to open it back up. So I'm kind of glad that these pieces are like kind of all one piece now. And you don't have to kind of fiddle with them. You can just kind of pop them in, pop them out, and be done with it. Ah, beautiful. Cool. Nice. Alright, now we can get this piece back on. Honestly, this was a lot less daunting than it was when I did it in the other versions of this controller. So that's cool. Just make sure everything is aligned the way it's supposed to. In here. And then once it is, it clicks right back into place. So now we should be able to start reassembling everything. This looks all good. So now we're gonna put this back into this spot, and actually there is one thing I am missing. I just remembered. This fucking piece keeps falling out, so I have to put it back in. Don't ask me what the fuck this is, because I don't know. I just know it goes in here. I will actually probably start with the tray, because that's what's going to keep it in place the most. I won't plug anything in just yet because I'm, again, just trying to make sure that this is going to stay. Alright, so now I'm just going to start getting some of these ribbon cables back into their place so that we can start plugging stuff in. Again, the reassembly is usually easier than the disassembly. I'm just going to put 2 in on each side because I want to get that tray back in so I can turn it over and make sure all the other buttons are working the way they're supposed to and actuating the way they're supposed to before I move any further because I don't want to have to take this apart again. Right. Now we're going to go ahead and screw the tray back in. Now that everything else is fastened with the exception of this one here, but that will sit on top of this here. So that one's no biggie, although maybe I should at least plug it in and then kind of work with it. Okay, everything is looking pretty good so far. There we go. Now I'm gonna put the battery back in and plug it back in as well. And once again, once the battery's back into play, we don't want to use any metal. So I'll use the pry tool to kind of just push it in, and it shouldn't be too difficult to get back. And then we can also test it, and it does have power again. You see the blue lights vaguely kind of flash there. So that's good. That means that that it is getting power. Okay, so now I think we can start putting the rest of this stuff together, which is the back piece and then the front triggers. Hopefully. So what do we think? Do we do the the translucent back like this? So translucent back, front like this. Should we keep the white? Because technically the front, the original front is white. So we keep the white back instead. Like that. So, yeah, and yeah. Cool. That's that. Go. That'll also help the battery kind of stay in place and stuff like that. Because she do be wanting to go just about everywhere except where she's supposed to sit. So. Go ahead and fit this back piece and start clipping these together. Alright, these are working the way they're supposed to. All the buttons feel good, so that's good. That's still flashing. That looks pretty good, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and start closing her up. But here's where we're at this point. So, yeah. And we're nearly done. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out, actually. Like, you know, I have, like, a vision in my head, but sometimes it doesn't always pan out the way I'm expecting. But this one turned out pretty good. Cool. Alright, so now we can put the triggers, the front triggers, and then I can put this last piece on, which is the front piece. That'll just sit on top there. And these just go, they slide in. Cool. And that's that. There we go. Now the last piece is just this front piece. And she should be done. Oh, that's pretty sick. So, that's what we're working on. And let me show you now. Here we go. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out, actually. So, that's the side. It's the back. Top view there. And bottom view. So I do have a case that I'm going to be putting this in. I'll probably actually do that now. It's a bit of a tight fit, but I'd say it looks good. Oh look, a bag to put the other bags in. My mom would be so proud. Look at that shit.